Are you trying to dominate your fantasy football league? Do you want so many championship rings it's impossible to sign autographs? Well, crack open a beer, pour yourself a glass of bourbon, and settle in, because you've come to the right place. Welcome to Hammercast.
Welcome to a special edition of the Double D's, which is a Devy portion of it. And we are going to be talking about today our 2024 Devy quarterbacks. And we're going to be looking at three. So this is a multiple series I've been doing. I did running backs recently, just at different guys and not necessarily the top guys of this class. This class is definitely, I think it's top heavy, but I would actually say this class is pretty deep with some guys that are probably going to emerge from different areas of the class. And so we're going to look at three guys today that I like in campus to Canton leagues and Devy leagues. And freshman quarterbacks are always hard to judge, especially we don't know where they're coming from, what high schools they're playing at, their stats that they put up, and so forth and so forth. There's a lot of question marks. I know there's a lot of people out there in the Devy community that don't like to take freshman quarterbacks early. They like proven talent, which I agree with, but there are some guys that I think you should take a shot on. So our first guy that I have absolutely have been in love with for a long time is someone that I really think he's a great prospect, and it hurts me to say as a Michigan fan because he's going to Notre Dame, but that's Tyler Buchner. You know, he's 6'2", 200. His prep school stats, he 295 for 439. His completion percentage was pretty good at 67%. He almost had 5,000 yards passing, 59 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. He also had 1,800 yards rushing and 32 touchdowns. He is the QB3, so he is one of the highest ranked QBs of this class, and he's a dual threat. And the thing about Tyler is he is a dual threat, and you'll watch him. I'm going to have film on him in a minute, but just looking at his scouting profile to start. He's an athlete. He has functional athleticism. So when you say that, he can work outside the pocket. He can play off script. So when you're watching him play, he does a lot of things that are off script that you're like, wow, that kid can play. And he can kind of adapt to defenses, adapt to pressure. He has arm strength. So you'll watch that. He definitely has that strength to get the ball and push that ball down the field. And not just deep, right? He can get it on a line and get those zip passes in there. He has accuracy too. Like, he's one of the more accurate QBs that I've seen watching film. So let's take a look at his film and show you what I see out of him. So you'll watch him here. And again, he played at La Jolla. This is him just running. First of all, foremost, there's a reason why he's a number 3 rated dual threat athlete. And he is an athlete. He's a lot of fun to watch, especially when we're talking about fantasy purposes. If you're in campus to Canton leagues, he's going to do this for you. So here's some off script. He'll escape the pocket. He has that arm strength to zip it to the side. You'll see here, drop back. He's going to find it. Hey, he's not there. He's going to take it off and run. Now, the one criticism I would have is that he does tend to run a little bit more instantly. So he's one of those guys, he doesn't see something, he takes it. But hey, look at this, almost 95 yards to the house. Again, here, you'll see him. He has good footwork. He has good accuracy, pinpoint accuracy, corner of the end zone right there for a touchdown. Again, he scans the field well. He can zip it in there. I love his arm strength. I mean, that's one of the things that I see about him. Look at this, pressure off the gap, rolls out to his offside. Okay, he still looks down the field, and he can take it in for a score. I think that his ability to extend plays is one of the things that I truly love about him as a player. He's just one of those kids that, hey, he can really do it all. And he's going to Notre Dame, and he's going to have the ability there. Obviously, Ian Book's gone. We'll talk about their depth chart here in a minute. I love this throw back. Off his back feet, able to get it there. Another one. Here we go. Long pass. You get it to him on a rope and a dime. He has that consistency and that ability, and he's a gamer. I love this little about him. He's got some creativity to his game. Back throw, okay, gets it to open field right to the middle. Again, when you're watching him play, there's a lot of things to like about him. The more I watch his film, the more hyped I get, as you can tell. As I'm getting excited just watching this. I probably watched this and cut this film up like 50 times, guys, and I just love watching him play football. And he's one of those guys that I think he's got the size, like we talked about. He's got the gamer ability, and he's going to a program that has shown to be a top 5 program. But again, our accuracy, deep ball strength, all those things that we're looking for in a quarterback. Boom, gets it to his read. And he does read pretty well. Again, high school can be kind of a hit or miss with that. But I just love that he can anticipate throws. He gets it to his receivers. And he played a pretty big conference. Here, another one. Good accuracy. Gets it to him on the outside shoulder. Hits his receiver. Again, in the red zone, making things happen. Okay, not necessarily anything there, but he can score on the ground. Again, rolls out. Okay, he's got the arm strength we can see. Look at that accuracy straight. Receiver didn't even have to stop. Okay. Again, he just finds ways to score. He finds ways to be a great athlete. And you'll see it. Okay, you're going to see him here as a dual threat guy, being able to take it off and rush and do these type of things. So when we're watching him, and again, when you're going through him, what he can do, and he can anticipate well, but can he be more of a passer? That's something definitely to look into. I think Notre Dame will develop into that. And he can just hit his guys, okay? And we see that constantly. Goal lines, okay? You're going to see that at goal line. He's got that good lift into him. And then, again, his dual threat ability. So when we're going over Tyler, and just in perspective of what can we expect from him on the line run. So when we're talking about him as you're watching this film, and, again, as he throws off his back foot, you'll see that. So you see his scouting profile. He's an athlete. He's functional athleticism. He's got arm strength. He's got those off-script plays. And so the biggest thing about Tyler is what do we expect from him at the next level? Can he instantly start? I don't think so. Brian Kelly has always historically wanted to go against this. At spring practices, we've seen Jack Cohn is going to be there. He's a grad, he's going to be the grad guy at the transfer there. Jack Cohn's been there. He's got that system down. He's going to be able to kind of give Kelly what he wants. He wants a senior kind of take over. Unfortunately, that's going to hurt Buchner there. And then they got Drew Pine, who was a highly rated recruit last year. I think he's around that 2 or 3 line, but I think Tyler's skill set is going to enable him to beat out Drew Pine. And now, will he beat out Jack Cohn this year? I don't know. This is someone you're going to have to wait on. Now, where's he going? It depends. If you're in a draft with me, he's going around 7, 8-ish because I'm taking him a little higher. I've seen him go a little later. I would say in that 7 to 11 range is a good range to get him. Anything before that, I'm not touching, especially if it's Devy. I'll probably wait. But Campus to Canton, I think he's a good guy to stash because he's got that athlete. He's someone that I really like. So keep an eye out for Tyler Buchner. He's a really good prospect. I really think that he's going to do well at Notre Dame, and he's going to be a great Campus to Canton guy. Now, will he translate to the NFL? I don't know. He's got to look more on that passing ability, right? That's 2 things that I want to see from him. Working on that passing ability, not running as soon as he sees pressure, and working his progressions a little bit more. But again, these are high school kids. We nitpick too much, okay? We do that way too much with these guys. All right, now my next guy is a guy that I absolutely have fallen for too, okay? And that's Kyron Drones. He is going to Baylor. Now, he's really a low-level prospect. He's QB 11 dual prospect, but he's kind of come on at the end because he won a state championship in Texas. So his prep school stats, again, his accuracy is one thing we're going to mention. Not the greatest, 56%. But he's an athlete. He threw 5,200 yards, 71 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions. He had 229 attempts rushing for 1,300 yards and 23 touchdowns. So, again, another dual guy. Again, when you look at his scouting profile, you're going to see that he's an athlete. He has that functional athleticism that I put a high prioritizing list on. That's one of the things I love to see from my quarterbacks, especially when we're talking about Devy quarterbacks, especially Campus to Canton. I want those points. Arm strength, he's got it. And damn, he's a playmaker, man. He's that guy when I'm watching, I'm just like, hey, this guy's going to be able to make plays at the next level, and you'll see it. So let's take a look at his film. You notice him here. Okay, again, he's going to have that similar thing with Tyler Buchner. He takes off and runs and finds that ability. I think is a little faster. I think he's a little bit better of an athlete than the last guy that we just watched. But you'll see it here. He's got that arm strength. He can get it to the middle of the field. He has that functional awareness, plays off script. This just shows everything that you need to know about his athleticism. But look, kept his eyes downfield and didn't just take off. And I think that's a good point here. He's not someone that's just going to go. He does look downfield and he does try to get it. Now, his accuracy can, that's a little bit of a problem. But that arm strength can get in the back of the end zone, just like this. Again, facing pressure, off his back foot, cross his body, still finds for a touchdown. Again, deep throw here. Boom, finds it for a touchdown. Again, as he's going through, he reads through his progressions. I'd say he took off a little too early there. But again, he has that arm strength to kind of make up for some issues. Again, as I was reading on him and I've been going over research with him, the drops weren't so much his fault. And I know that's a cop-out to say. He did have some drops from the receivers. Okay, it wasn't necessarily the errant passes and the missed passes. So I think once he gets a better team around him, he'll be fine. But hey, you'll notice that he can get things on the line. I like him as an athlete here. He works well in the pockets. And look at this, keeping his eyes downfield. He took off and run there, but he was waiting to the very last minute before he can make that pass. And again, you'll see it here. Good at pocket awareness, sees the pressure, feels it. And he's going to be a threat to go. And this kid can go, guys. Look at this. I love watching him play, and he's going to go to a place in Baylor, which they don't have really a quarterback. And we'll mention that here in a minute. But again, on a rope, on a dime, scores touchdowns. And you'll see him. He can make the plays and he can make the throws out here. And, I love his off the run. Okay, when you play action, playmaker, getting the ball out of the field, off script, everything there. Just look at his footwork. I like his footwork and his base. I just had Nick Whalen on from Dynasty Nerds and basically everything football related. He talked about base. I think he has that. He moves his feet well, gets his base, his platform back. And you'll notice that here. His platform's there, great throw. When he's on platform and he makes those tosses, he's much more accurate. When he's off platform, that's where he really struggles with, and that's coaching, and that'll be able to be there. But again, if you're looking for a guy that's a dual threat, that's going to have the ability to basically play at the next level, look at that toss. That is a beautiful toss. I don't care what anybody says. He does well in RPOs, which, you know what? A lot of teams are going to be running RPOs. He has that dual threat thing. Baylor has a great offense for this in terms of what they're going to ask him to do. So I think it's a perfect college fit. Again, he can make easy passes, okay, intermediate range I've seen. And so when you're watching that tape, you'll see that athlete, that functional athleticism. You're going to see that playmaker ability. And for me, he's going into the best situation. So if you're looking for a guy in a Campus Can't League that could maybe start this year, it's Kyron Jones. Okay. Right now, Gary Bohannon's there, redshirt junior. After that, they've lost a lot of guys. He can instantly step in and make an impact. They went 2-7 last year. You're going to tell me that they don't have any like that? They have Tyquan Thornton, who I really like as a receiver. RJ Sneed, he's all right, but Tyquan could be there. Even Jalen Ellis, who I really like as a receiver. He has some talent around him. They will do better after this year. Okay. Quaylon Jones is there as a running back. So I think that he could fit in and kind of rebuild that thing after Matt Rule left. So I think that they're going to be there. So Kyron Jones is a name to keep an eye out for. I really, truly do believe that he is someone in Campus Can't League you target. My last guy of this list is Ty Thompson, and my guys at Oregon are just recruiting, and they have a great recruiting class, not to mention Troy Franklin, who I will talk about in my next episode for wide receivers. But Ty Thompson, 6'4", 215. He's the QB4 pro-style quarterback. He's going to Oregon. Prep school stats, he had 601 for 980. Completion percentage was 61%. He threw the ball a ton. We'll go over that. He almost had 10,000 yards passing. 100 touchdowns, 32 interceptions, 234 attempts rushing, 1,100 yards and 20 touchdowns there. So he does have some running ability. He's not the greatest. We'll look at that. But when you watch his kind of what he is, his scouting profile, he's got elite arm strength. He is a pro-style quarterback. Okay, that's who he is in the first place. A+ mechanics. Great mechanics, great base, great everything that you want to see from him. His athleticism is there. So he does have athleticism, but he's not talking about the same dual threat guys that we talked about earlier, but it is there, and he's accuracy. When you're looking for a pro-style quarterback that fits the mold, it's Ty. Okay, Ty is that. 6'4", he looks like that prototypical back or quarterback, and that's what you kind of want. So let's take a look at his high school tape. So we're watching Ty here. You know what? You'll see his base is solid. Again, when we were watching it, we were talking about Nick Whalen earlier. He taught us a lot of things, but he stays on platform. He gets his feet turned around and gets his hips there. That's a great thrill. Okay, to the boundaries, on the run, hits the receiver in stride. Here's another one. Okay, deep pass, 40-yard rope. Got it to him. Again, you'll watch. He gets his feet. Okay, you'll see it. Gets his kind of hip set. Off his one back foot, hits it on a rope to the 5. Guys, when you're talking about pro-style guy, this is the guy we are mentioning. Okay, he gets it to guys. He anticipates well. He gets it to their route. Okay, he knows what they're going to be. He processes the game well. Now, again, this isn't great defense as you saw, but hey, he still got it to him in stride. So I'm not saying that he's perfect as a prospect. And again, Arizona has some okay talent down there for a high school level, and he did play against some pretty good players. But again, he gets it to the rope, and he gives his guys plenty of time to get there. An Elite 11 quarterback, again, on a rope, on a dime. He's got the arm strength that you like to see. I think that he processes the game well. And then he knows, and he's got a good system. They ran a very good system at his high school that he was at. He can tend, and you saw that right there. He did underthrow that kid, so it's not like he's perfect. And when we're watching this film, you'll notice you're like, hey, who are they playing out here? And that's a very valid concern. But you can't – he almost threw for 10,000 yards. You can't go against that. I think that's his best throw right there, playing on the run, okay, to the numbers. He's got that arm strength. And when you're thinking of Oregon quarterbacks, they have really needed one. Okay, they had Herbert, and he was great. Okay, I think they needed one from last year. That's what I kind of mean with Tyler Shallow. He's gone. Obviously, he transferred. So, Ty Thompson is going to step into a role where, he has a shot. So, they have Anthony Brown there, Jay Butterfield, and these other guys. But I think Ty Thompson is going to come in and really compete to start at this level, and I think he can. He's got a great offense. They have one of the best recruiting classes in the country. So when we think about what they have there, they brought in a heck of a recruiting class. Their CJ Verdell is back. They're going to be able to get him the ball. Again, back shoulder throw. Look at that accuracy, getting it to in the corner of the end zone. And he is great at these fade routes in the end zone. Look at that accuracy. You cannot teach that. That is something that either a quarterback has or doesn't. And like I said, look at that back shoulder throw there. Regardless if that's where you meant to do it, I mean, he's got the arm strength to do it, right? And when you have it, he scores touchdowns. And he's a red zone threat. He didn't make a lot of bad decisions from the film that I've been able to cut up and watch, especially in the red zone. He knows his read that he wants to go to. I'd like to see him progress more, but that's like anything with running quarterbacks here. But on the run, okay, getting it to the outside numbers, getting it to the seams, he can do it. And he's someone that is going to be a great quarterback at Oregon. Oregon is one of those programs where if he can take off, I think that they could win the Pac-12. That's how good they are. In terms of weapons he has around him, man, Micah Pittman, I really want you to be good. So they have Micah Pittman there. They have Jalen Redd. They have, Chris Hudson, who I think is going to be good. But they're bringing in some of the best wide receivers in this recent recruiting class. And Troy Franklin is one. So for me, I am trying to stack Ty Thompson and Troy Franklin in a lot of my C2C leagues because I think that actually will help them. But these are three guys that I absolutely love. Now, where is Ty going? Again, he's going in that range. Like, I think I've seen him the earliest is round 7, 6, depending on where draft you're in. I've seen him go as late as 11 in Campus to Canton leagues, but he's out there. His name is out there, but he's there, right? So I believe Ty Thompson can be someone that you can grab. He has startability now. He has early playing time awareness now. He could do it. So that's a guy I want too. So these three guys are all guys that I'm targeting in my own leagues. And I think they have that ability. So remember, we got Tyler Buchner going to Notre Dame. Okay, right now his ADP anywhere from 11 to 7 to 11. I don't know why I just did that. 7 to 11 in there. Kyron Jones I haven't really seen. Now, I've taken him early on purpose to kind of get his name out there a little bit, but you could get him in the 15 to 20, 25 range in there. Ty Thompson's been going in that 6 to 11, 6 to 12 range. So these are three quarterbacks from that 2024 class that I think have the ability and you should be trying to target. They may not be big name guys. A couple of them may be a little bigger than others, but Kyron Jones is a guy that I think is going to take a big leap. So grab him now. Listen to me and try to get him early. So we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you checking in. If you're on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Any support you can give us, we appreciate it. Our next episode of this Devy series will be on the 2024 Devy wide receivers. So we appreciate you guys, and you guys have a wonderful day.
Did you get all that? If not, make sure you head over to Hammercast.com, subscribe, and join the Hammer Nation. Until next time, keep grinding.